Welcome. We are in our Stafford office this morning.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Yes.
Got a good packed house in here. Excited.
Oh, you went loud all of a sudden.
That's the microphone. It's not me. I talked in the same.
Okay. But we have a packed
I'm
house.
warning you guys
We're
ahead of
excited.
time. It is clear that Sarah has shot
What is
caffeine.
that? Caffeine. I'm like, what am I
Straight
shooting?
into her veins
Sarah's
this morning.
shooting up this morning?
Caffeine.
That's a rumor that's going to
caffeine.
go around, yes. So welcome everybody. It's a wonderful day outside and happy to see everybody.
We've got some exciting announcements here. We've got some great guests. And we got
we have new stuff.
We have one cool new teaser that we've been working on. A new toy that we've signed an agreement on as well. We'll announce it a little bit as well. So lots of fun things to talk about today. And which will be our last sales meeting for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Till April 12th, actually.
So we know
4 weeks.
you guys down here are having spring break down in this area right here. The first week of April.
Well, first of all, it's a rare 5-week month in March.
Yeah,
so we weren't going to have one next week and the 29th already.
Yes.
And
then we have spring break in our area the first week of April. Yeah, it's crazy. I was telling him earlier, my daughter has the first week of April, my son has the second week of April, so I'm like, ooh, let's overlap and go somewhere.
So we will not be having one the first week of April. Our next sales meeting won't be till April 12th in the DC office, the new DC office that our friends from on Farragut Square, the one that we merged over here from the One Street Company. So we're excited about that. Hope everybody can come out and see us. But
so
we 4 weeks out sales meetings.
We know you're going to miss us tremendously.
Yes.
And all of
you can log in the weekend update because Sarah's last Friday update is still going on, in case you were wondering.
Look, it was schwack. It was International Women's Month, so we were supporting that, and I did. This one decided to go to some remote jungle in Mexico, so I did the update. It was a little longer than what his typically is.
So normally we say it's 10 to 12 minutes, try to get in, get out.
I had a lot of thinking I wanted to do.
You want to talk about everything that's going on great this week, what's going on next week, and I try to keep it 10 to 12 minutes typically. And then Sarah asked somebody, oh, did you watch Sarah's? And I was like, yeah, I turned it on. I started to watch, and I saw it was 22 and a half minutes. So I turned it
I had a lot of people I wanted to thank. And it was my first go-round. Next go-round will be shorter. Thank you, love. Thank you. I
Wait
appreciate
a minute.
that.
No sucking up allowed.
I can't help it. It just so happens that the view numbers are actually higher on mine than they are on Donnie's, and he's a little bitter. So just
something
FYI,
like that.
A little bitter.
Justin, I don't appreciate you telling her lies like that. But we're gonna jump into all the fun topics today, and enough of Sarah and I making fun of each other.
Yes.
So first thing we like to do is we love to thank those rock stars that got their listings to the Cardinal Title Group. We do all the closings at the end, and we've got about 150 in the last 2 weeks. So thankful for all those people. But first people we talk about are the people that were able to bring their listings.
You guys are awesome.
To Cardinal Title Group, get the full deal to close there. True rock stars, they're able to negotiate that in. As a reminder, if you are in the room,
we need a woot woot.
Sometimes we don't know everybody that's in the room as we're reading through, so give us as Sarah would say, a woot woot, but let us know that we are here so we can cheer for you. My man Adam Shively out there in West Virginia, Sally Trotman, Christina Gulick-Kazembe, Connie Johansson, Danielle Amoruso, Dilyara Dominova 2 times, Donald Grant, Ebony Jones 2 times, Greg Hogan.
What was that?
What?
What was your little 2 times?
Ebony Jones 2 times?
2 times?
Deuces.
2 times.
Deuces. Yvonne Levy, Jacqueline Kirch, Jaime Magny, James Logan Jr., Jeffrey Welburn, Jennifer Dorn, Joe Way, Julie Park, Karen Jones, Kate Heislip, and Kathy. Oh, there you go.
Kate's in the back.
She's woot-wooting. Yeah. Great job. Thank you, Kate.
Nice woot-woot there. Love that.
Strong
woot,
move.
Woot, woot. Yes, that was a good one.
Kathy Rainey.
Kelly Graves, Mary Williams, Miriam Bohat Furtag, Neil Baga, Ray Powers, Roxanne Southern, Sujay Sunil, Tom Earhart, and Victoria Zhao. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all of you bringing those listing agreements. Were we not on there? Was it a listing? Last 2 weeks? Okay.
You're not there yet. We'll get you.
The buys we'll do at the end, so we probably have your name there. The next thing we like to do is welcome all our new family members to Samson. In the last 2 weeks, we've welcomed 41 new family members to our brokerage, so we're super excited for all of the new family members. As a reminder, on the right side, you will always see the office that they've joined. Now look, you join one office, you join all of our offices, but you can see if somebody's joined your local office there as you're reading through. Make sure to
Reach out, say hi, be a buddy.
And what? Be a buddy. There you go. That's a new one.
Be a buddy.
I'll work with our first list here. Anyai Childs from Keller Williams Preferred Properties. Anya, you think?
I think.
With an I?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Ashley Angel from National Realty. Larry Awodipi from Keller Williams Legacy. Brian Hall from Core Realty. Chantel, I remember that one. Keller Williams Realty Center. Sean Rogers is a new agent. Siobhan Everett from Redfin. Christina Reyes, and her husband Manny, we'll see later, from Advanced Realty. They joined our Bel Air office. As a side note, Christina and Manny were out yesterday. We had a great time. I was out at the Harford County Expo.
All right, all inquiring minds want to know, did you dress up like Batman?
I did not. Okay. So their Realtor Expo is also Superman, or not Superman, but superhero themed.
I tried so hard to get him to dress like that.
I was unwilling to dress up as a superhero. Barbara Pritchard did.
Did she? What was she?
Catwoman, all black, like Jedi.
More time.
Jedi, like a Jedi.
Jedi's not.
Yeah, like a black. Anakin Skywalker. Yes.
Because that description was supposed to give me that.
I started with Wonder Woman. It landed at Anakin.
I was like, that is nowhere near each other.
You can tell that I'm very up on these superheroes.
Wow.
But Barbara, our great manager at Bel Air, did. But we had a great time out there meeting a lot of agents.
Short and spicy. I love it.
We did compete in Family Feud. It was.
Did you win?
It was terribly rigged and it was terribly run.
Terribly rigged.
Or we would have won, but I would blame me mostly. But we did lose.
What question did you fail on? Because that just makes me laugh.
Okay, so it all got off to a bad start. Okay, so I'm gonna say the question. You guys can see what you would have done. Because me and the lady from Weichert, who were team captains, both apparently didn't get the memo. They're like, when you're walking into a house, God bless you. When you're showing a house, what's a door you would never want to walk into? The back door, the side door. I said a patio door. You don't want to walk into. I'm thinking you walk into a door, right?
The
bathroom door. Right. No. Right. That's where we were. We went back and forth 4 times. Then finally, the guy doing the scores looks at us like, you don't have the idea. It was supposed to be, what kind of a door would you never want to walk? Like a situation. It was like growling dog was number 1. I was like, that's the worst question I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
So we had to redo it, and it all got off whack. And then we both tied on a buzzer, and I was trying to be gentlemanly. I said, you can go. And I know.
You, Mr. Competitive.
I turned around and Barbara's like, you don't be nice. But
Mr.
Anyway.
Competitive, that when he was the team captain and and his dad was the team captain and we played against each other and we won, go Rock on our side. He went back and counted the points for every single question to make sure the math was done correctly.
I did rewatch the video later to make sure.
I walked into his office and I'm like, what is he doing? And his wife was standing there and goes, welcome to my world. He is recounting. I was like, oh, for the
They were wrong, but you did win. All right. But Christina Reyes and Manny were with us at the booth yesterday, so we had a great job out there. Thank you for having us out there.
Oh, yeah, that's where we started.
Colin Atkins is a new agent. Dawn Klinko from eXp Realty.
Fatima Ali from eXp. Gosha Baywick is a returning agent from we don't know where. Ivory Frimhung is inactive to active. Jawad Shirazi from Icon. Kabita Adkari is a new agent. Catherine Levitas is a new agent. Kubar Bendari is Red One Realty. Laurel Chin from Century 21 Redwood. Manuel Reyes from Advanced Realty, and Mark Smith from Keller Williams. Welcome, you guys.
And that was the Manuel Reyes was the Manny I was referencing earlier.
Oh, okay.
Just to close that loop.
Thank you for closing that
Mason
loop.
Jacques is a new agent. Melanie Davis from the One Street Company. Shelly Gale from Century 21 Redwood. Motez Bayami from eXp. Monica Coquinas from Remax Realty Group. Nami Tran from Inactive to Active. Nicole Boyer from eXp. Quan Ma is a new agent. Regina Wheeler from Exit Realty Enterprises, and Reynaldo Velasquez from Remax Pros.
Robert Walsh from Vintage Ridge Realty, Robert Allen from Taylor Properties, Rochelle Godwin-Guro from Keller Williams, Charlene Monroe from Remax Realty, Sophia Goodwin is a new agent, Stacy Wilson is a transfer in, Tamika McFadden is a new agent, Ursula Ioni from Coakley Realty, Yessi Nieto from Coldwell Banker, and Yoselin Aguilar is a new agent. Welcome, you guys, and I'll finish this up with Yvonne Thomas from Bennett Realty Solutions.
So welcome to our 41 new family members here at Samson Properties. Always great to continue to and I didn't count, but it looked like just about 70, 80% of them were referred by somebody in our company. So again, thank you all so much for continuing to refer people to Samson Properties.
People that you love and trust. We appreciate
helping them to talk to Mark or I or to come to Lunch and Learn. So we really appreciate all those things, continuing to build up our family even bigger. Now, our top performers for the month of February. We try to do this on that third week of March, make sure all the totals are in. So our top individual performers for last month in volumes. This is just volume-based first. My man Ernesto Sordo selling some big properties out of Rehoboth Beach. $5.6 million for Ernesto.
Now, he may have a life. He lives at the beach.
Yep.
And he sold a lot.
Yeah, I think it's those beach properties are expensive.
I don't know, but I'm stuck on living at the beach.
I do know. I checked.
Oh. Touche, friend.
Sorry.
Touche.
I was like 5.6. He's crushed. I was like, yeah, a couple big ones.
Big ones. Okay.
Doyara Dominiva just under 3.1 million. Mary Williams just under 3 million. Andrea Perez del Castillo just under 2.9, and my man Bassam Hamandi 2.6 million.
So for individual transactions, individual performers, we've got a tie for number one with 5 transactions apiece. Mary Williams, Andrea Perez del Castillo, Farshad Mosheni,
or Fred, however you want to go
it
by that
Fred.
day. He does by both.
Fred Mosheni and Tonga Turner. And then we have got a lot for 4 transactions. Bassam Hamandi, Adam Shively, Tara Lowe, Keisha Washington, Prudence Waffo, and Ragjit Kapoor. Congratulations, you guys. That's awesome month. Awesome month.
Transactions and volume. Now we've got the teams. Oh, man. So this team's coming in hot for the second month in a row. They announced their presence with a bang. So our top teams in volume for last month. The One Street Company, just over $16 million in sales last month. Shepherd Homes Group, Jason giving him a run for his money, $13.3 million. The Casey, poor Casey, team's crushing. $5 million in February is great. And, you know, Shepherd and One Street Company, you guys doing great. So Casey Samson team, a great month, $5.1 million. The Redstone Group, just over 4. And Troy Property Group, a good February, $3.2 million. Congratulations to those top 5 teams in volume.
And in transaction count, the One Street Company with 32 transactions.
That's a few.
That is a lot of homes.
More than one per month, or one per day.
One per day, yes. Nice math there, friend.
There you go.
Shepherd Homes Group with 22 and a half.
Coffee's kicking in.
Coffee's kicking in. Shepherd Homes with 22 and a half. The Michelle Gibson team with 6. Major Key Real Estate with 5.5. And then tied with 5, the A-Team and Troy Property Group. Nice job, you guys.
Awesome stuff. Good job for all of our top teams.
Fantastic.
So a couple save-the-date events we want to make sure you guys are aware of today. If you are out there in Streamville right now or in the room and have friends that want to come learn about Samson Properties, I'm going to go from here down to the Augustine Golf Club down the street, 12 to 2:30 today. We're going to feed a great lunch, talk all about Samson Properties and why people should consider joining our family. Tomorrow, I'm going to make a special mention. I'm going to cut into the Lunch and Learn thing here because tomorrow, we just talked about One Street Company. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock in our studio in Chantilly and live streamed if you can't get there, 1 to 2 o'clock. Real estate is a team sport. So Samer Qureshi was the owner of the One Street Company, runs the One Street Company team now with Samson Properties. Very dynamic individual. You know, he's grown this team. He turned it into a brokerage, now a team with Samson Properties. You know, from nothing to be in the Wall Street Journal recognized as the #1 team in D.C. 9 years in a row. Did a fantastic job. Did over $300 million last year as a team. So Samer's going to join me. He's going to do a Q&A on the market, how to build team building, build the tech and marketing, how to really treat consumers the right way. So great stuff. So I'd encourage a lot of people to come. You know, he's got some material he wants to go over, but he also wants to do Q&A. You know, and so I'm going to do it with him. We're going to do some Q&A for the crowd. Want it to be very interactive, but also a lot of good sharing from Samer. You wind him up and watch him go sometimes.
He is quite the character, and we know he's quite the character. So between the two of them, it's going to be a great time.
So 1 o'clock tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday, yep. Today's Wednesday all day, right?
Yep, all day.
I got thrown off. My last few days have been a whirlwind. But Thursday, 1 o'clock, tomorrow in our studio. I encourage you to come out and see us in Chantilly or live stream online. So
we'll also film that. We'll put it up into Samson University for those of you that have something else going on and you can't make it. We will have it up within a couple of days into Samson University.
Absolutely. Now, the edited version on Samson University probably won't get some of Samer's colorful language the first time.
I can promise you that would be the absolute truth. Yes.
Although I say that.
There will be some editing.
And at the award ceremony, what did it take to Danny? 8 seconds?
It took
He hadn't got a hot mic in a year, my dad, and he gets within 8 seconds, he drops
a bomb. Yeah.
So, but we'll have a good time tomorrow, so I encourage people to come out for that tomorrow in Chantilly or online. we said this earlier, but no sales meetings the 22nd, 29th, or the first week of April. So not again until April 12th in our Washington, D.C. office, which actually
we will
was
miss everyone tremendously.
the old 1 Street D.C. office that we're now converting into Samson. She's making jokes over here. So April 12th will be our next sales meeting. We have one more lunch and learn at the end of March there.
Your favorite place.
One of my favorite restaurants, Eddie Merlot's and 1 Loudoun. So March 29th. So if you're in that Loudoun County area or anywhere kind of in that earshot, we'd love to see you. Eddie Merlot's, March 29th.
I have never eaten there.
Really?
Yeah.
My
ever.
guess is that you show up there to get food because you like to show up for the meals. It's good stuff. So then after the sales,
I may check it out. Yeah.
She's going to contribute nothing to the lunch and learn. Just like today, if you want to go to Augustine Golf Club, Sarah will come by, she'll wave, and then she's going to go right to where are you going to go, Sarah?
The desserts.
The dessert table, yes, exactly. So
Life is short, friends. Eat dessert first.
life is short, friends. Eat dessert first. So our other lunch and learn we've already planned.
They were going to make that my International Women's quote.
I thought it was a good idea.
I thought it was funny.
They didn't do it.
Life is short. Eat dessert first.
They gave you like a real quote.
They gave me a real quote. I'm like, it all sounded serious. Like, do they know
Yeah,
me?
it was very serious. Women empowerment. You're like, no, life is short. Eat dessert first. That's what. So we're going to do a lunch and learn at PJ Clark's, which is a great restaurant downtown. We're excited for a new place there. And then our last sales meeting for our other sales meeting, Virginia-based in April, just a heads up, will be at our Winchester office. So it's been a few months since we were able to get down to see our folks in Winchester, so we'll be there April 19th. And then afterwards, we'll be at the George Washington, beautiful hotel about a couple blocks down the street. Actually, you know what? Our sales meeting is also in the
hotel.
The
George
hotel as well.
Washington, yeah.
The office isn't big enough. We do the
Yes.
sales meeting there, and we do the lunch and learn there. So it's a great
And
place.
I never miss that
Or
place
come by
because
and
it's
see our
got a
place.
funny little name.
What?
Piccadilly Street.
Oh, the street, yes.
Piccadilly Street.
So those are some of the great sales meetings
Yes.
and lunch and learns we have coming up. Wanting to
You wanna-
let you guys know about. So
Yep.
I'm not going to delay any excitement here for too long. We have a new announcement.
Super excited.
So excited. So I'm going to qualify this by this. We have signed the contracts. Actually, at 3 o'clock today.
Today,
Right? 3
yes.
o'clock today is actually
We're doing our
Sarah
kickoff
and I and
launch
our
meeting.
team's kickoff launch meeting. My guess is we're 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4. Sarah's going to say 4. So we're going to get really excited about this product, but know that we're probably not going to be able to use it till, let's say, first week of April, maybe second week of April. We will update you. We will
Yes.
probably hop on for a impromptu 30 minutes or an hour live session on the Nest and let everybody know all the details about it, when we're launched, all
And
that
we'll
kind of
send
stuff.
out some emails and all that good stuff as well. But we wanted to go ahead and tell you guys about it today because we're going to launch before our next sales meeting.
Yes.
So we just wanted to give everybody a heads up.
We've officially signed a deal now to have Real Scout as a part of Samson. Oh, we got an
Yes.
excitement. Real Scout. We're going to provide Real Scout to all of our agents for free at Samson Properties as an added feature to what you all do now. The next question is,
What is Real Scout, Downey?
Because if you know, you know.
You know.
If you don't,
If you don't know, you don't know.
So
Yeah.
I reached out to a bunch of we had some test sessions. We probably had 40 or 50 realtors that tested it out and were in a session with me. And I sourced some people that had it before and really dove into it. But what's the one big downside right now? Let's say right now you go out, you meet a new client at an open house. All right, Sarah's going to be my new client. All right. And I go home and I'm like, okay, Sarah wants to buy a house in Stafford from $600,000 to $700,000. Well, I set Sarah up on, where do I normally set her up on a search?
Right, MLS.
Right? What's the problem with that though? The MLS sucks.
And it's
Sorry.
so ugly.
That was
It's
the too ugly.
so ugly.
It doesn't look pretty. They can't do anything with it. Sarah can't edit her search. I can kind of see what she's doing, but not really. But it's clunky. So what does Sarah do? Great, Donnie, thanks. And then what does she do when she actually
And
wants
every
to start
once in a
looking?
while, I may put a little heart. Right.
Right.
And then I go to Zillow.
Then what
right.
she does is she goes, okay, let me go to Zillow, let me go to Redfin, let me go search for homes. And then they take
And then I start
screenshots.
texting him and
She
saying,
starts sharing listings
I want to
from
see
Zillow
this.
to me. Right.
Yeah.
Because that interface is better. So what Real Scout is, guys, is a much sexier way to send, can I use the word sexy?
You can in this particular case.
It's a much sexier way to send searches to Sarah. So I'm going to send her the Stafford search, 700 grand. Looks so beautiful, got language. Hey, check this out. This is a beautiful place, backs to trees. I think you're going to love this one. Every time it hits somebody's new search, they can click it. It's got nice pictures. It's a slick interface. Sarah can update her search. She can say, okay, well, I want to change the acreage to this, or I want to bump the sales price to this, or I want to include this area, or I want to search by school district. It has every single feature that is in our Bright system that Sarah can now control and search by instead of whatever Zillow has or Redfin has, or they couldn't search at all in our MLSs before. So she can modify the searches. As soon as she does anything, it's notifying me. If she's liking or commenting or says, hey, I'd love to see this one, great, pops in a notification right to me. We can interchange and exchange ideas. Now, she also says, I like this feature, I like this feature, I like this feature. The system is smart. It's using all the analytics.
So smart.
So now it's going to feed, even if it was outside of Sarah's search feature, maybe she just had Stafford set up, and it says, you might like this one in Woodbridge. It's similar, but it's 5 minutes about it. You liked all these features. Maybe you'd like this one. It is also actually using the functionality out there. So you can actually say there's 15 things you like. I like the kitchen. I like this. You can actually rank stuff, so it gives the system more stuff to learn about you. Then the other really cool feature is, let's imagine Best Buy, right? You like 3 computers. Maybe that's just me that's done this before, but laptops or phones, or the compare feature. So you can click 3 or 4 homes, and they'll compare right next. Here's all the kitchens with the pictures. Here's all the backyards. It'll sort them and let you see it by features and pictures, and it is
the stuff
super
that's the
slick.
most important to the buyer when they're
Right.
looking, right? Some people won't buy a house if it doesn't have a certain type of master bathroom or it doesn't have a certain type of kitchen. Well, it'll allow them to go in and click that so that those pictures come up first with all of the things that are with that house, so they can know right away whether or not they'll consider that house or not. It's a super, it's got an AI component on the back of
Yep.
it, but it's super intelligent search feature, which is awesome.
It has won all sorts of innovative awards. It has been around for a while. We're not the first brokers to offer it by any stretch, but we are excited to be offering it to you all, because the idea is this. I don't like the idea that we work so hard and we want to take that, but if Sarah's my buyer and I start giving her searches, I don't love the fact that she's in Zillow, and I don't love the fact that she's in Redfin.
Because now I'm in Redfin and I'm getting this pop-up that says, hey, do you want to use a Redfin agent? We'll give you $1,500 back or whatever. right?
$15,000 back.
Whatever, I made that up. But what happens is if your person's not totally loyal to you, you have a potential of losing that person, right? And that's a scary feature. You've worked hard to get them. So it adds that in. The other cool thing is, too, is it's a stickiness factor.
Yep.
So when you've found that person a house, and you click in and say, okay, this is great, this prospect turned into a client, we bought, they sold, well, the whole search converts into a sticky market comp system for you. It's like a market snapshot to say, here's what's going on in the neighborhood around you for sold homes.
So now it keeps them
it's that
posted on the
touch
neighborhood
point.
forever once they've turned into a client on it
Yes.
as well. So it's like a seller after the fact side as well that is built into the system. So we want you to create this stickiness with your client. If you look over a whole year and maybe you've met 30, 40, 50 people you've put into Bright at some point to put in searches, and you just don't notice when some people fall off, we want to keep more of them with you. You don't realize when you look back at the end of the year, oh, I don't know if you've ever done this, go back and look at your searches in MLS, like, oh, where did that person go? Where did that person go? Well, the likelihood is they ended up leaving you for somebody else that they saw on Zillow or Redfin or something along the way. You didn't even notice it because you weren't that engaged with them, or they didn't stay that engaged with you. I want to help more people stay engaged with you. Let them love your system. It is web-based and has a slick app, so it has both.
And it's pretty. And that's the big difference. It doesn't look bulky. It doesn't look like an Access database that feeds in with different spots. It's actually got a really attractive interface.
Sexy.
It's sexy. Sexy. Yes.
Just curious.
Hi, Amal.
Hello there. Do they show coming soon as well?
Yes, so that's
Yes.
a good question, and I forgot to mention that. So coming soon as well,
Great
as long
question.
as it hits the search that I've set up for you. So if a coming soon comes in at 675, it's going to give that to her because that's direct MLS feed. Now what it won't do is if Sarah's independently searching out there, then it's more like a third party, like Zillow doesn't have necessarily all the coming soons because it's third party website. So yes, as long as it hits that coming, it's going to hit it. As long as it's in MLS because it's a direct feed from me, it's going to have those coming
But
soons
it's not
in
going to be included in those, hey, you may be interested in this one that's 5 miles down the road outside of the search criteria.
there. Hold on.
Oh, you got it,
Justin's
Mike, back
gonna
there, you
patch
go.
you on.
So what is it called to the consumer? Is it Real Scout to
Real
the
Scout.
consumer?
Real
Okay.
Scout. Yep, and they can download that app. But actually, when they download, you send them a link and invite them or send them a search. As soon as I send it to you and you click on it, you can only be invited by a realtor. So they can't go in independently and start searching around. They have to be invited by a realtor. So it's not like an independent Zillow, Redfin type deal where anybody can search on there. So as soon as I give you the link, like I need to have the guy disassociate myself with it because
I had to disassociate myself. I was getting a lot of stuff in.
the salesperson is, I was his client because I wanted to see it from the client perspective. Well, now I need to, Kevin, can you get me out of there? Because I'm tired of seeing your emails every day. But the idea is that Now they're locked in. They can only search, and they only see your information, your face. It's like your own website, your own web portal.
It's a portal that you can have your clients that's rebranding you all the time.
I also think there's an API plugin that you can put on your website when people want to search for homes there as well. I'm 99% sure. I don't know how to do it, but I think that it's there. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to add something because I haven't used it in a couple years since I've been here at Samson, but the analytics on it are also much better than the T3 reports on the MLS. So it's really good to use for analytics to see how many buyers are searching in certain areas.
So thank you, because that was the other point I missed. Awesome. So here's the other really cool factor, and the part that was really fascinating to us listing agents out there. So what Kate means by analytics is this. Like, let's say I have a property that is, I'm going to list in Stafford for $625. Well, it'll show me right now that out of all the people using Real Scout right now all over the area, that there's 525 buyers that's going to hit. But if I price it at $599, it will hit 24% more buyers. Or if I price it at $650, it'll hit 22% less buyers. I didn't say that well. 22% less buyers. It'll show you exactly how many people right now are searching or have searches set up in that criteria. So you can use that data to be like, look, if we drop here, we're going to get to 15% more buyers, 20% more buyers. Or look, there's no buyer feed here. There's no buyer pool here. But if we get to, we're at $1,049,000, but if we drop to $999,000, all of a sudden our buyers go from 300 to 550. Well, that might be enticing enough to push it there. So to have that data before you list a property or as soon as you list it and deciding on changes is super valuable as well. So thank you for bringing that back to my attention. That was a weird smile.
Hey, Sarah, your face looks weird.
Well, I couldn't tell if she was. I only say that because I was like, "Are you trying to talk?" And now you're looking at me. Or you're just good job there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. More questions on Real Scout and the idea of it. And I'll try to answer as many as I can. But I'm really excited about it. I think it's awesome. I would not have. I don't like to roll out new products because I know there's a lot of things. I want to make sure that I'm all on board, but. I loved this 3 years ago when I first sat down and looked at it. It was actually the same time we were rolling out KV Core, and I was like, that is too much stuff to be throwing at people. But this is a whole different thing than KV Core. It's really just specifically for our buyers, that stickiness rate, that closeness together. Let's give them something that keeps them in our neighborhood because there's a lot of distractions out there they can search. And I don't want people sending you links to Zillow anymore if you can avoid it. At least give you a really cool product that can keep them closer to you.
Well, and I know his point of it's a completely different product than KV Core, but I'm going to tell you where I like the overlap because many of us look at technology, and if we don't just immediately look at something and say, oh, that's pretty, or in Donnie's words, that's sexy, right? We look at it and go, ooh, I don't want to use that. It looks clunky. It looks like it requires a lot of work. Oh, I've got to take a lot of training. And truth be told, KV Core is a wonderfully robust platform. But not everybody's going to use it because it requires a lot of work and a lot of engagement to keep that platform running at the level and from a prospecting way that you want it to work. This piece of Real Scout overlaps with KV Core a little bit, that the masses can turn this into a market snapshot. The same thing that we loved about KV Core and Top Producer and all the other sites that we've used over the years, giving them that market comp to stay in front of them every month. Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry for anybody that writes content, they don't care what flower of the month is. And they don't care the recipe for the rhubarb pie. They don't care. Now we put it in there.
Pie.
I made that up. We put that in there because
I'm going to use that today. Normally I say cheesecake of the month.
Rhubarb pie. You're going to use rhubarb pie. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, you have to have your marketing pieces balanced between art and science because that's the way the brain works, right brain, left brain, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, every single consumer cares about what their single biggest asset is, and that's their house value. So this is a way to take that. You've already got the searches set up, convert it over to a current client, and you're continuing to email the masses. You may never use KV Core, or you may use this in supplement to KV Core, but it allows 80% of our population to get in and use it.
Everybody
and turn
can
it
go
into
in and set up a buyer and put up a couple criteria and
it creates stickiness.
This is the other cool thing it's going to do about the launch. They're going to take all your saved searches in MLS, which is why it's going to take 2, 3, 4 weeks. Everybody that's gone to save automatic search right now, and they're going to take them all in the conversion and automatically sign them up as Real Scout searches. So they're going to all of a sudden get an email to you, and you're going to be like, oh, Donnie's got it. Now you're going to get feedback right away from people that are out there searching like, this is a much cooler product you just gave me. I was using these MLS links, and I just look at the address, and I go look it up somewhere else when you sent me a new listing. Now I clicked on it. This looks awesome. So they're going to actually convert all of our existing searches automatically and push those out to everybody so that they have a new feature to be able to tie into it. Yes,
Will
ma'am.
we still use the bright as well?
You can.
You
I
can.
wouldn't. I'm telling you that once you look at it, you can use
You
Cities
do
Bright.
you. You do you.
But I would never put a buyer in bright again. That's how much I like Real Scout and how much slicker it is for buyer, content. I
There
might
will
use
be
it for like
people-
heavy duty like comp stuff or kind of figuring
Yeah.
out stuff. But for me, I mean, it's got map overlay. It's got every cool feature out there you can imagine. You can search by school district, by county, by city, by zip, by whatever subdivision. It's just a lot slicker, I think.
And at the end of the
Somebody
day,
else have
some
a hand?
people are going to look and say, I don't want to learn something new, and that's okay. Your buyers are just not going to have cool slick, and you just have to realize you may or may not lose them to Zillow or Redfin for your searching. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. You do you. But at the end of the day, this platform, super cool. I mean, personally, I'm a data person, so I'm probably still going to go in Bright and Price Properties because I can manipulate that data however I want. But from a customer-facing site, there's no comparison.
I have a question. So in KV Core, they have the millions
Yeah,
mapped.
millions
or am I
mapped. This is
saying
gonna,
that
it's
differently?
much better.
So does this product have a GPS? Like if someone's standing in front of a house, can they locate it? And
Not
Find
100%
information?
sure. I
That's a
would
good question.
guess, but I'm not 100% sure on that
Okay.
exact feature. So that's a good question, but I don't have 100% certainty on that.
Yeah, if you want to email that to me, I'll look it up when we get back.
But again, too, was there another question? Sorry, I thought I saw a hand over here. We're excited about it. We are going to have more information coming. We're probably looking at a launch 2 to 4 weeks. Sarah would say 4. I'm hoping closer to 2 to 3. We'll know for sure at 3 o'clock today what our kind of time frame looks like. They originally told us March 27th, but I don't think that's going to be happening. But you'll see more information.
We have to set up 5,500
We'll jump
people.
on once
Yeah.
it's all set up and ready to rock and say, look, here's your launch. Here's going to be your emails. We'll do an hour Q&A. We'll get the webinars on. We'll do all that kind of stuff. So that stuff's coming, but no, it's coming. And if you want to do some research in the meantime, but we're just super excited to be able to launch this new product for everybody just in time for spring and all of our buyers out there.
Yeah,
right?
that's awesome.
Any other thoughts on Real Scout before I push forward?
Awesome. All right, cool beans.
There you go. So exciting stuff there on Real Scout. Just a couple quick reminders. This is a blank page because I signed it as a PDF. But what I wanted to tell you is the Samson Properties Facebook group. I want to make sure everybody knows, look, there's a Samson Properties agent Facebook group. I would love everybody to get in. We used to have 2, an insider and a Facebook group. We've converted them just to agent Facebook group. We'd love for everybody to interact with each other.
Yes.
The message boards are great. The Facebook group is great. Also, some of the offices have local Facebook groups. If you want to get involved there and you weren't aware that those happened, great way to get engaged with your local community, but also with the big community as a whole.
Oh, our awards
2 more announcements, so we're going to bring up some of our guests. So some of our pictures from the award show, we had a great time there a couple weeks ago. But the announcement on top of that is this. In case you didn't see these graphics on the Nest, you go to Top Resources. They're all up there. You can, if you achieved gold, platinum, or diamond status, you can download that graphic, put your picture in it, put it on cards if you want to send them out, put them on social media graphics,
your listing presentations,
your emails, your listing presentation, but really cool graphics where you can say that you were a gold, platinum, diamond member. I've seen a few of you guys manipulate that and put it out there on social, but want to make sure everybody was aware that this was out there. And then the last announcement, you can do this one.
Oh, yeah, the print center. So as of April 1st, you guys, we launched the new print shop, right, the Samson print shop, and we've been rolling out classes all over the footprint. And Thomas has been going out to offices. We've done webinars online. We've streamed classes to teach everybody how to get into that e-commerce storefront. Again, very simple. The templates are loaded. You drag and drop. You hit pay, and it's a self-service portal for you to be able to send your postcards and brochures through our print center. The reason we love it is because everything's already designed for the size and the cut and the bleed and everything to go through our printers. In the past, we've emailed in those pieces, right? And what happens is the print center has to open them all up, go in, resize them. Sometimes it's pixelated, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we're happy with it, sometimes we're not. And it goes through the machines, and it's an extraordinarily lengthy process as well as not necessarily getting the clean and crispness of the pictures that we send up into the system. So as of April 1st, we will no longer accept emails into the print center for...
Really now? But
Yes.
We're going to tell you
we
April
did a
1st,
cutoff,
but really we
yes.
don't want them now, okay?
So everybody, use the
been a
print
while.
shop. It's been, and we've been teaching it. We've been rolling
I'm
it
going
out
to go
now
with
for a
the
while.
April 1st thing. Stop doing that, okay?
That's hilarious. But at the end of the day, it's super easy to use. If you
Sorry.
have your
Does that
own
mean-
branding.
Sorry, not sorry.
If you have your own branding and you like your pieces and you're used to emailing them in, there's an a la carte feature where you don't have to use the templates in there. You can just upload your a la carte feature. But again, it's got to be set up in the framework that the printers will accept. So all of those classes are being taught. The templates are in there for you to use. There's tons of training on the Cardinal Nest on the print shop page. But again, we will not be accepting any emailed documents into the print center. Now, guys, we've already had one person go, I don't know how to use this. I need this out by Monday morning. This was, they were texting their agent service specialist Saturday night at 9 p.m. I need this. I need you to send this in for me. I need you to put, guys, you've got to be proactive in learning how to use this.
What was the saying you said?
Your failure to plan is not my crisis.
Yeah, I like that one.
Sorry. But make sure you get into the system. Make sure you look at it. It's super easy to use. If you've ever gone into Shutterfly and ordered something, or you go into Amazon and order something, it's the exact same thing. But make sure you know how to use it. We are cutting off those emails as of April 1st. And so please don't be upset when they say, we can't process this. You need to use the system. And they will not process anymore after April 1st.
And if you're just unwilling to do all those things, remember we have a great
concierge department
that you can enlist. They can do all the stuff for you, super cheap.
Yes.
We're not trying to make money on it, but if you just don't want to learn the systems, we have people that can help and create postcards and do all this stuff for you. $25, super cheap prices that you can do that
And
stuff
the reason we're doing this is not to be mean. The reason we're doing it is because we're trying to make the print center as available as possible to all 5,500 agents that want to use it. And when we have to take all of this time to reformat every single document that goes through, there are plenty of people that we've had to email back and go, yeah, we can't get these out when you want them out because we're still formatting and you're number 42 in queue. Versus things just coming in and them looking at it, approving it, and going.
Sarah likes
we
to
can
use
print a lot faster.
exaggeration. You're never actually number 42 in queue. I don't want to freak people out. All right.
Whatever.
With that, we're going to start our slew of guests for today. So Miss Donna Schmidt is here.
Yes, welcome,
From
welcome.
210 Home Warranty, and she's going to be joining us talking about our warranty partner, 210 Home Buyers Warranty. It's been a while since we've had Donna on our stage for our sales meetings here, but welcome. Good to see you.
Good morning.
I know you've seen some of our local offices, but we haven't put her up for the big screen for everybody. So welcome.
Thank you. Well, good morning. So I am Donna Schmidt, the Northern Virginia Regional Area Representative, also Central Virginia. I've been in this industry for about 18 years. Prior to this, I managed the largest home inspection in the nation, inspection company, and I'm a former gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps.
Oh.
So I'm a little hard-headed.
Rough.
Thank you for your service, and I just got a little scared.
He goes, whoop!
Don't cross Donna.
That's right. My kids will tell you that. So anyway, so what I'm here today, actually, being in the industry for about 18 years, I've seen this market go up and down, up and down. So it's been, and the warranties have been there. When it's up and down, up and down. And I will tell you, even through all those years, the warranty is a very integral part of a real estate transaction. Even, more important now. The government changes our guidelines every year for not every year, but quite often.
Seems like
HVAC and other codes. And this year in January, the HVAC guidelines have been upgraded again by the government. So having a home warranty with specific items like matching SEER and unlimited refrigerant is very, very important. That can be very costly to a homeowner. So we all know what a home warranty is. It's a contract, I guess, between the buyer, and the warranty company. And it covers, it's called failure and malfunctions due to normal wear and tear. Again, at the start of a contract, that home has to be in good working condition, all the appliances and systems. Now, warranties do not cover pre-existing conditions. That is very important to understand. Okay, a pre-existing condition is something that you can see visibly or have found out by a simple mechanical test. So it's very important to understand that part. Okay, it's important for us, for the homeowners and for you to have, it's called fair and reasonable expectations of what that warranty can and cannot do for you. Okay, and if you understand that, then it's always going to be a win-win situation.
Expectations are key.
Absolutely, absolutely.
In anything, and we know that from just managing the whole transaction, right? Managing people's expectations is the number one thing that we can do. So doing those for warranties is important as well.
Yeah, so don't not do a home inspection and know that everything's
the warranty will cover everything.
And then say the warranty will cover everything.
It does not. I will tell you that right off the bat. So with
you guys laugh like people don't say that.
I know. You laugh like you haven't said it.
I know. So with 210, we offer a complimentary listing coverage, which I think is a no-brainer, and that's I'm going to tell you that. We cover, it's called a limited coverage.
Guys, I did this on every single, sorry to interrupt. I did this on especially sorry because I forgot she might take me out. Is that I had this on every single listing when I sold properties. Because I'm going to tell a horror story real quick. Is that the one time I did forever and ever, I won't get into who the guy was because it'll break me up a little bit. But I had this seller. He moved out of the area, and he, trusted me to sell his townhouse, and it was all great. It was going to closing, and he had moved out 3 or 4 weeks ago. Came back on Friday, the weekend before. We were going to close on Monday, just check on the place, that kind of stuff. And at some point, the hot water heater had busted, and it leaked all over the basement. And look, it wasn't the end of the world. I mean, yeah, it was a couple thousand. I mean, it was fine at the end of the day. But if we had had a warranty in place, and I could have had a free warranty in place, but there was just something I was too lazy to do, right? I never told him about it, I never did it. It could have been free. And from that point on, never again did I not take a listing and put the warranty in coverage. Look, it's not going to cover everything, but you know what? At least I can look at it and say, I had the best coverage I could in place, that
reducing the exposure.
I'm reducing the exposure,
Absolutely.
I'm reducing the risk, and I didn't have to look at this guy again and be like, oh yeah,
Sorry, I just
nothing we
cost
can
you
do.
$2,000.
And he didn't blame me or something. I could have done this. But when I looked it up and I called my 210 rep, and then I'm like, yeah, I probably could have helped you out if you had that coverage in place. So.
Correct.
Sorry, it's my horror story.
Oh, no, it's okay. That's a good horse
so
story.
don't be on the other end of the horse
Don't
story.
be Donnie.
That's
Well,
right. Okay.
I'll tell you why it hurt even more, because I hate to, but military background over here. The guy, it was the dad of one of my buddies that went to high school with me, went off to war and was actually killed in action.
Oh.
So he was moving out of the area for a new start. My buddy had unfortunately, whatever, not whatever, but I don't want to talk about it too much. But that made it even worse for me. Here I am, this guy's trusting me to help him move on with his life, and I screwed it up. But anyway, go on. Now you're going to get a lot of people putting their listings in place, aren't you? You don't want to be on the other end of that one, right?
It's really important. It really is, because again, it's a coverage that is complementary. The thing is that if the seller wants to add the HVAC or heat pump, it would be a $50 option, and that is payable at closing. Yes, do it. So anyway,
I
Murphy
whispered into the mic so
strikes,
they could
right?
hear me.
Murphy strikes.
Absolutely.
The minute the heat hits, it's July, the air conditioner is going to go out Thursday night before your Friday closing, and it's going to be 122 the next day. Like, we know that's going to happen.
That's right. The good part about listing coverage is that, yes, it's complementary. So what we say is, when you do present listing coverage and you do add it to a property, is that you do present the warranty to all parties, especially when you have a contract coming in. The great thing about listing coverage, it is not an obligation for that seller to pay for that warranty. Even if they use this warranty during the listing period, and for some reason the warranty is negotiated out of the contract, or it's canceled, or something like that, we know things happen. You just call me up and say, hey, Donna, I need to cancel the warranty. There is no premium for that seller to pay. So you can't get any better than that.
Nope.
Right now, 8 out of 10 people, home buyers, prefer a home with a home warranty being offered. So it is, I think they say, 76% chance that first year that homeowner is going to have an issue or a challenge with a system or an appliance. The average use for a warranty is 3 times a year. And that can get quite costly depending on what it is. Sure. HVAC systems right now, I got a quote the other day for $12,000 because of the new standards and guidelines that are coming in on this. Okay. So statistically, again, the home will usually sell faster with a warranty. Right now, we don't have any problems with selling the homes,
No.
the little homes that we have.
But your buyer might be more willing to waive that
Absolutely.
inspection if
Right.
they do see your officer. Now, we know it's not the end-all,
Don't
be-all,
waive that inspection.
but it certainly gives them a more likely chance that they're willing to waive something like that if you're on
Well,
the
it
seller's
also
side.
gives the buyer more comfort that the seller has taken pride of ownership in their house, and that they're just not letting stuff
There's a
go
comfort-
to
there's a-
pot, that there's
a
actually
comfort
been a
level there.
good maintenance there with the home
Well,
warranty.
that's
in
true or
place.
not is irrelevant.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right,
So,
right.
so seriously, for the listings, again, there should be no reason every listing in this organization should not have listing coverage on there, the complimentary on that. Okay, we offer a couple of great things for the buyer side. We offer a thing called Happy Home Lock and Hardware. We know that the first thing that when a buyer moves in, the first thing they should do is change your toilet seats and change your keys.
Change the toilet
So,
seats.
was that sexy?
That was not sexy.
Sexy.
Well played.
I have never
Well
heard
played.
that one ever before.
I've never heard the
though,
toilet
okay.
seats, but now that I'm
Sometimes.
thinking about it, oh my gosh, that's gross.
Sorry. Anyway, so what we do offer is the buyer once they move into the home, we will give them up to 45 days post-close to submit a receipt for front door locks, additional keys, or hardware. We will reimburse them up to $100 of that receipt. So
So
that's
they can
something.
change the locks.
Right.
Get $100.
And
yeah,
the
they pay for
toilet
it.
seats.
They're not. You cannot. You cannot submit your toilet seat receipts.
No.
Just the lock receipts and get reimbursed.
Okay. Anyway, so we do.
Distracted Sarah for the rest of the meeting.
So we have that, and that's I think the good value. We have a gift certificate that I can send a PDF. It's a fillable PDF that you, as the agent, can fill out, saying, congratulations on your home for using and working with me. I'm giving you this little gift for the Happy Home Lock and Hardware. So it looks like it's coming from you, and it gives them instructions on what to do on that. Okay.
There you go.
For your realtors, we do have an agent portal that you can create and access, and in this portal you can register home warranties. You can check up on your
Super easy
clients'
to use. It's
information
great.
on there.
Even Sarah can do it.
Even I can do
Even
it.
Sarah can do it.
Yes.
So, and I'm not a techie person, and I can do it. So we have that for you to do. Also in that agent portal, there are marketing tools that are at your disposal. We have newsletters that you can go in there, monthly newsletters that you can go and create. You put your logo, your information, and you can send those out to your clients as
people
well.
that are looking for a little content. to
And it has a
potentially send their
recipe on it
emails.
too, I think.
Rhubarb
Rhubarb
pie.
pie.
Rhubarb pie.
If you listen to my class, I tell them how to leverage it.
That's
Yes,
right.
right.
Little tell you all about that. So we have that, and so again, what this can do is this is going to hopefully lead some referrals, give some referrals to you because you were the hero of something happened. The big thing
I love
with
it.
me-
He already went ahead. I love it.
Go ahead. You can finish what you're saying.
I do have an outfit. It says warranty. That's what it looks like.
I
okay?
love that.
It says warranty woman.
Why didn't you wear that today?
I was going to, but I didn't. It's my first time. So. Okay.
Next time, Donna has to wear
Next
a
time.
warranty woman.
Next time she
I have a
says.
whole thing. So anyway, so the way I work, again, I've been doing this for a long time, and I have no life. So everybody gets my phone number. So your clients get my phone number. If they have a question or concern, my phones are on 24/7. Have them call me. I mean, I like to talk about the warranty because I have, I love coffee, so I'll sit with anybody with coffee. That's a gimme.
Sarah loves it too.
I know, so we have coffee. I do about 18 cups a day. So again, everybody gets my phone number, my email. If anybody has a question or concern, or if I can help you with something, just always reach out.
Well, and the thing
do
that I love too is because Donna's here and you see her and she's physically in the space and she's giving you her contact information so that when you do have that question or you do have that issue, it's not like you go into the 1-800 number hole of hell that nobody ever answers. You actually have someone that's going to talk to you and answer your questions so that you've got that personal relationship and that you've got that experience and somebody that can be your advocate if you need it.
We do have a military discount for buyers. So if anybody in the transaction is either as a veteran, retired, or active duty, we will have a $25 military discount for the buyer's side on that warranty. Okay? And again, I'll be making my rounds in the offices, doing sales meetings, and hopefully we'll have some more webinars. And if anybody has any questions, just give me a buzz.
So just as a head, we answer questions too if you want, but on the Cardinal Nest, if you click on our partners on the left, there's a 210 whole page on 210 warranty with our reps information, Terry in Maryland, I believe, as well, and Donna, and then there's somebody in Richmond as well.
That's Danny.
Danny in Richmond. And then there's portal links and all the kind of information right there on our 210 page on the Cardinal Nest, right off the front page there. So if you need to find any of the information on that, it's all there as well.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Donna's cell phone number and where you can take her to coffee and all that kind of stuff.
I do appreciate it. Again, any questions or concerns, just make sure you just reach out. Okay?
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much.
Warranty woman, there she is.
I love it. Next time we need to wear the suit.
I saw Carrie and Reed hanging out there in the hall
That's
somewhere
awesome.
there. There he is.
Hello.
So
Mike,
Reed and
right
Carrie, Reed Hubbard and Carrie Lindsay coming in here from
Hello,
Cardinal Title
hello.
Group.
Hey, good morning.
I'm going to steal them some
Hello.
mics here.
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you.
Morning. How are we doing this morning?
Morning. Good. How are y'all?
Hey, great. It's great to be in Stafford.
There you
Yes.
go.
Morning.
This office is very nice.
It is nice.
This is the first time I've been here.
Oh, you haven't been here?
Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
This time I'm
Love
actually
it.
lucid when I'm here. Last time I was here.
Oh, you
it
had the
was
back bag.
12 hours after back surgery, and actually I had a bag in my
Yes.
back that Sarah had to drive me.
Yeah.
My
I
remember
surgery
that.
was Tuesday night. I got out of the hospital at 10 a.m. Sarah had to pick me up at 8 a.m. the next morning to come down here. I was very drugged up. I wasn't allowed to drive. And
We had very interesting conversations in the car. They made no sense
Only one of you
whatsoever.
remembers.
and then I got
He doesn't remember, but they made
And
no
then I got
sense, and I
driven-
wish I didn't remember.
I got driven over to the Lunch and Learn, and then my wife had to pick me up at 4 o'clock when I was done over there. So it looks beautiful.
It was hilarious too,
lucid
because his
today.
wife was texting me saying, "Is he still talking?" I'm like, "Of course he is." She's like, "Is he making sense?" I'm like, "Barely." And then at one point we had a rule that if he started getting a little too crazy, I would stand up and take over. So I stood up, and he goes, "I'm not done. Sit back down." I was like,
But anyway, we were just talking about The Office, and I got off on a tangent.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
Good to
actually a
see
fun
everybody else.
experience. Yes.
Reed just said the
Welcome,
Office
Reed.
party.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We wanted to thank Rich DeGore for being such a great leader in this
Rich.
office. We really
Rich.
appreciate
Yeah,
you.
Rich. Woohoo!
Oh, let me show you this. This is actually funny. They hung up a picture.
No, we're doing good.
He got an award for being the top winner guy for doing stuff. It's awesome.
That's
That was set.
Bottom 13%.
Bottom
Right.
13%.
That was so funny. Whoever did that, well played. Love that. Yeah.
Well, we have such a great following this office, really, and Rich, we thank you for that, for being a great leader
Yes.
here and encouraging Cardinal. We have a fantastic team here of Laura and Sabrina. Laura Quinlan, our processor here, and Sabrina Sanchez doing the closing. So
Yeah.
Fantastic.
we are really proud of both of them. They both get so many compliments in the quality of surveys and just do a great job. So we're really proud of the team we have here. So thank you for trusting us with your business.
Thank you.
You may take the reviews.
Sure.
So one of our, I'm not going to say their name, one of our competitors is boasting a lot about their 2,500 plus 5-star reviews, and that prompted me. So the barometer what they used.
2,500.
2,500,
Okay.
yes. So
Just want to make
Keep
sure I
that
had
number in
the
mind.
criteria they were using was Qualia surveys, Facebook, and Google reviews. So that prompted me to go in and do a little digging as to how many
Oh, you've got
5-star
a little
reviews
bit of Donnie in you.
we have. Yeah.
Let me double down and see what I can come
I
out
did a
with.
deep dive.
Yeah, you deep dive.
And
Yep.
we
What do you have?
over 20,000 5-star
Wow.
reviews.
20,000 5-star.
That is
reviews.
huge.
So the bulk of them are from Qualia, but
That
I
is
think
a lot of
Qualia,
reviews.
yes. I
Well,
had
so let's do 2,500, 20,000.
How many times more is that, sir?
That's a lot.
a lot.
How many times? It's eight times. 8 times more.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we just kind of, wanted to make a note of
publish
that. And and
Yeah,
I can do a
you
little
guys,
bit
that's
more in
awesome.
terms of the exact numbers and where they're coming from. But, Google and Facebook are obviously those public reviews that are out
Right.
there that we can't thank everyone enough for doing those. But Qualia is the internal one. You as the agent and then your clients get prompted after the closing to do a review. And those are the ones that, we get probably
Well, at least 20,000.
20,000. Obviously, that dates back
That
to
is
when we
quite a
first started
few.
with Qualia,
That
but
is
it's
quite a
really
few.
an astounding number. And, we look at the
That's really
reviews
not
every
that
day.
long. I mean,
no,
that's only
no,
been in the
it's
last 4 years. I mean, that's not a lot.
the
Not a
amount
long
of
time.
people, the percent, I'm not sure what the percentage is, but it's got to be incredibly high how many people actually spend time after settlement doing the reviews. And there's a lot to be said for that because
Thank
I don't
you.
think people really love doing reviews, especially when you're done with us. Especially your clients, I'm sure they're like,
Well,
okay,
I think people that
let's
have
move
a
on.
bad experience like having reviews
Yes.
because they like complaining about things. So for the fact that you've got this many 5 stars, it's huge.
And the number is probably like 20,000 out of like 24,000. So it's not like there's another 20,000 1-star reviews. It's
Right.
it's overwhelmingly 5-star. So it's really nice, and we really appreciate everyone who does that.
Excellent.
Thank you, guys.
And we also appreciate when people write notes too. Like
Yes.
Laura Quinlan, yesterday someone wrote a note about what a thorough job she always does, how they love working with her. So we really take note of that
Aw,
when
the
you
personal.
say stuff about our
Right.
individual, people that worked on the file. Everybody loves to hear that, and we try to share that with them too. So thank you for taking that extra time to do that.
That's awesome. Make me feel good.
The other thing we were going to talk about is some of you may be aware of this already, but Maryland rolled this out first. It's a new online remote notary software. Ron, for short.
Ron.
Remote
online.
online notarization, a new capability where obviously this was prompted by the pandemic, COVID, and all that. We found a new company. Their name, it's a strange name. I'm not sure how
it's
they
kinda
come
cool.
up with it, but it's called Panda Doc. Don't ask me where that came from. I have no idea.
Hey, Reed, where'd
There's
that come
no pictures of pandas on their website. There's nothing like that. So it's
Yeah, right?
pandemic.
pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's
Docs from the pandemic. Look
that
at
makes
that.
a lot
Nice
of
job back
sense
there.
now. I'm
We're
not
gonna
sure I
go
would
with that.
focus on the pandemic, but
Yes.
they didn't ask me.
That's not great marketing.
Yeah.
No.
Focus on the
COVID docs.
Well, COVID
COVID
docs.
docs.
COVID docs.
Wouldn't go that route, but hey, they have a great platform. So Maryland rolled it out first. Essentially what we're trying to do is have as many of your sellers use this platform. This is where one of our settlement agents or attorneys is the actual online notary, and they connect with your clients, and the settlement can take place for mostly your sellers from anywhere they are, as long as they have a tablet, a cell phone, anything with a computer, a webcam, and the ability to just log in. That's all they need. It's a secure platform. It has this encrypted software and all that confirms that people are who they say they are. And it's just a really great way for your clients to be able to conduct their seller-side closing anywhere at any time.
Now, as a heads up,
Yes.
okay,
There is a caveat.
There's a caveat.
if you're going to do this, do not decide, first of all, the day or two before closing you're going to do it. But second of all, you have to pass a test before you can log in.
You have to prove that you are who you say you are.
who you say you are.
Your
So, like,
clients.
your
Not
clients,
you, the agent,
Yeah,
the
the
buyer.
seller.
But for
the seller,
Sarah to
the seller.
sign as the seller, she's got to pass a test, and it's
So
fairly,
it may ask questions like, and I'm being very facetious on this, but it may ask a question like, what street did you live on when you were 12?
Right.
So it's
it
a
goes
whole
back.
history of your basically social security or credit profile. Anything that kind of pops up on there could be part of that knowledge base assessment.
and while that's annoying, you want to make sure that somebody else isn't sending your house
Like if
away.
Reed is selling my house, but it's my house and Reed is fraudulent, I don't want Reed to know what house I grew up in
Right.
because then we've got some
So
potential
if you
for fraud.
fail, you can retake it the next day, but you do have to eventually pass this test before you're eligible to sign remotely.
And you get
so.
3 tries, right?
3 tries.
Three
Yeah.
tries, and then
And you'll be able to pass.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
This
It's
is
not, I just a heads up to not plan
we just
for the
don't
last
want
second.
Yeah.
we want your clients to be aware that it's a potential that they have to do this and that they don't need to wait till the very last minute.
Right. We'll ask
before
to
settlement
schedule
to
it
log in.
a week in advance.
Yeah.
We
That's
start
why we,
there.
yeah.
And
That's why we go with a week because
Right.
people do fail.
But it's a great platform. We can offer it to essentially any sellers who meet the criteria, which essentially nowadays everyone does. So just something that we can throw out there. And if you all have any questions or you have a settlement coming up and it is interesting or you want to pursue this, just let us know and we will get you and your clients all set
Now, the
up.
question some people would say is why not buyers? But it's because our friends from First Heritage Loan Officers it's because the lenders, they're
Certain
spending a lot of
documents
money.
need to be
They
signed
wanna-
in person.
Some have to be in person. There's an extra layer of security that is involved with some of that. They want to make sure they're the actual people there, and they
Right.
have to be wet signatures for some of that stuff. So
Correct.
But if you have a cash buyer, this is an option for you
cash
too.
buyers could be, yes. Don't have this icky lenders involved. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, they went from sexy to icky.
I'm not going to call the lenders sexy. Real Scout sexy. Lenders? Nah.
Yes. There
Hold
is-
on one second.
There is an
Did- oh, did
additional
Greg get-
cost. Yes,
Oh,
the
cost.
question was the additional cost. I forget what the specific cost is. There is an additional cost. If there are any questions or concerns about that, just let us know. We can, work through it. I will figure out. I'm working with our rep. I haven't heard back from them to give a little one-pager about things like cost and just kind of lay out the steps and all of that. A quick marketing type document that I was hoping to have today that I don't have quite yet. But I will share that with
Yeah,
everyone.
give it to me.
post
We'll
on
put
the
it on
Nest,
Cardinal Nest. We'll put it up there. We'll let everybody know that
and
it's
we
out
can
there
share
so
it with
you have the
everyone, and it
capability.
should answer all the questions as well.
It's also effective for sellers because there's so many times that they leave the area ahead of closing, or they want to leave the area ahead of closing,
Right.
because they've moved on. So it can be effective when they can close where they are instead of having to go find a notary in Georgia or Texas or Florida, where they've moved to, that they can close with. And the other question I would have as a realtor is, yes, you can get on the call. You want to be there, because yes. Can Reed conduct the closing of my seller without me? Sure, but you should hop on the Zoom.
Oh, by the way, and look at the Alta.
You should hop in the Zoom, look at the Alta, be there to answer questions, and be there a part of the process. Close out the deal in style, so you can also be a guest in there. You can't sign because you didn't pass the test. No, but you can be in there because I would want to be a part of that, as well. So realtors are welcome into those meetings as well, correct?
Absolutely.
And everyone's really warmly embraced it. I think we have 5 sellers signing up Panda Docs today. So this is a
In
very
Virginia.
popular thing.
Yes.
Maybe it's because it gives you that little sweet, little soft and cuddly kind of feeling.
Maybe it
Panda.
does. Maybe it
Cute
does.
little pandas.
Pandas.
Cute little pandas.
Pandas are comfort.
So we're going into spring market, and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
that leads into summer holidays and stuff. Any dates to avoid coming up except for the last day of the month and that last Friday?
Yeah, nothing soon as far as holidays. I think we're in the clear until Memorial Day.
Awesome.
But I do know we're going to be super busy at the end of May, so you want to avoid the Fridays. Go to a Tuesday if you want a day that's not busy and the lender's not crazy and we're not crazy.
End of March, end of April too.
Yeah.
Yep.
She said May, but I've noticed contracts have kicked up a lot
Yep.
They have.
recently.
Yes.
So those end of April dates. And look, we talked about this last week with Bruce in our Maryland meeting, but guys, you're just asking for a problem. Look, be
We will still
proactive.
do a great job.
We'll do a great job, but if we have 20 closings on Friday and there's 6 on Thursday or less, I'd rather be on Thursday, not only for the ease and comfort of not feeling like there's a million things going on and everybody can take their time. But also for the lenders, look, First Heritage is going to do a great job all the time. But do you want to be the first files to make sure that they're approved and get done, or do you want to be in the middle of 6 other people that might be having problems with their loan, and all of a sudden you've got all these extra problems because there's 4 times as many closings on the last day of the month as there are on the second to last day of the month.
And it goes beyond just the problems with the loan. It could be a West Coast lender that's not open yet and their settlement's at 9 o'clock in the morning. It could be that seller that decided, oh, let me go, I realize my settlement's at 9, but I'm going to go at 8:45 and do the walkthrough. And now there's an issue and they haven't wired their money. And you're the 1 o'clock settlement, well, everything down the row is going to get hit.
It just gets more stressful.
It just gets stressful for everybody. For that great client experience, low key, low stress, everybody's calm and nobody's hustled and panicked, just move it up a day or 2.
Yes.
See, Senorita.
Yes.
Yes.
I refuse to do settlements on Fridays, the last day of the month, or the 15th of the month. I stopped doing that years ago.
Oh, look at
So
you.
much easier.
But of course, if you
I
all
like
have to or need
Tuesdays.
to, we
Look
will
at
take
her,
great
just I
care of you.
refuse.
I refuse. Because they're crazy. Everybody's crazy.
Say Sarah said she refused.
Sarah
so I
refuses, so therefore I can refuse too. You just do it.
Any other questions
power
for
to them.
Carrie and Reed and our great staff at Cardinal?
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you guys. And thank you again for leaving all those reviews. Guys, that's fantastic. And we always invite you, if you have not left a review but want to say something nice. If you want to say something bad, don't leave one. But if you want to say something nice, you can
Wait
go
a minute,
through and
wait a
use
minute.
that
Is this a microphone, Charlie?
I've seen one
review
before.
on
Yeah. Eat it
Facebook
like
and
you
Yelp
eat
and
it.
all
Get
those
over here, get over
places.
here. You're the star of the show now. You
Yes.
and Sean.
Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Introduction?
Yeah,
Hey,
you
no,
gotta
you're up.
introduce-
Well,
you got.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Sean Shingler, a loan officer with First Heritage. And while this slide is accurate about who I am, I'd rather tell you a personal story.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it'll be short.
It's not going to be sad like me. Mine
It
was
won't.
it? Go ahead.
So it's 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I'm the first one up in the house. I make coffee. As the aroma starts to fill the kitchen, I pour myself a cup and I walk into the living room across these gorgeous cherry wood floors that are still new, that you can smell the wood. And as I sit down on the couch, I'm flooded with emotions of joy and happiness and pride and satisfaction, because this is the first weekend in my house, and it's our forever home for my wife and I. We've got one child and a couple more that will be on the way. And as I reflect on that time, I realize I feel like I've arrived as an adult, as a provider, as a father, a husband. And as I've come to reflect, is what does it mean to be a loan officer? That is my motivation that drives me to help with my realtor partners and clients, to get them into the homes that not only will change their lives, but will change the lives of their families for generations to come. And so I wanted to share that with you. Whew. That's a little bit about who I am.
You got me up in my feels up here, Sean.
So if there's anything that I can
kind
do,
of party.
anything that I can do to help you and
That's
your
a good
clients
one,
in the
Sean.
future,
That
please
is
let
work.
me know.
Yes.
And
We're gonna
and
clip
I'm
that
one
later.
of many. I'm one of many at First Heritage that are passionate about what we do. I'm in the Fredericksburg office on Tuesdays and the First Heritage office the other days of the week.
All right, now it's your turn. You have to top
Yes.
that.
I don't think I can top that. I'm still caught up in the moment, just remembering.
You still got your feels?
Yeah,
he's-
just
the-
thinking
the
about what he's
aroma
seeing and
of
what
the
he's doing that
coffee.
day.
I mean, he just. The
I was
details.
waiting for him to go, and I spilled my coffee. Because I would have cried for that too.
You got it still.
Why don't I do this? Let's do the next slide, and then I'll cover that, and then I'll hand off to Charlie. Sure. How's that sound? So I wanted to give kind of a reflection on where the market is with regards to mortgage rates the last few months, where we are today, and is also what you might expect in the coming months to come. So really, October, November, we saw in 2022, the first time in 20 years that interest rates got up to 7%. It was a tough year, and what we've seen the last few months, January through March, is interest rates have been less volatile, but they're still in around that high 6, mid 6%. Also in Northern Virginia, as you all likely know, inventory's down, demand's high. So what does that mean for the coming months? Well, we're also watching year-over-year inflation numbers, and what we see from the data is beginning in the months of April, May, and June, interest rates are going to start to drop. As 2023 inflation numbers replace 2022, and we look at those year-over-year inflation numbers, as inflation numbers come down, that'll drive interest rates down. So it probably means the back half of the year, interest rates are going to be dropping into the 5s. So what? Yes,
like
good
that.
news, right? So what that likely means, though, is if you've got borrowers that have been waiting on the sidelines the last few months, as the summer market heats up, that have been waiting on the sidelines for rates to drop, that probably means somewhere around May is where things are going to get really hectic and busy, which is good. Busy summer, busy fall. But that's what I'd plan for is it's going to be a really busy month.
Now, the flip side of me would say that I might get out there and try to get my house before it gets real crazy if that was it, because I can always refinance with these great guys in the fall if it is drop 1.5%, or something to that effect. But, I wouldn't want to wait till it was the perfect storm and 100 people competing, But.
Great, yep. And what I'd also share to add to that, Donnie's thought is, if you can share with your clients right now that interest rates being high, they actually may be your friend, because you can purchase that house before the market kicks off in the summer, probably pay a little bit less than you would in June and July for that same kind of house.
Yep.
Two things of note for the market news with regards to loans. Most recently, in the last few weeks, Fannie and Freddie came out with new LLPAs, so loan level price adjustments. What that means is that interest rates may be a little bit higher for your clients. If you have buyers that have been approved in late 2022, I'd ask them to reconnect with their lenders, make sure they've got updated estimates and pricing. The second thing is that it just came out 2 weeks ago that there's going to be a decrease in FHA and VA fees. So what that means, the mortgage insurance premiums and funding fees, that's going to have the monthly mortgage payments a little bit less for those clients, FHA and VA line.
Huge.
So that's it for me. Charlie, is there anything you'd want to add before?
Well, let's tie into Real Scout. Is it the new program?
Yeah.
Called? So
look at you, real time.
See,
pivoting.
I pay attention.
Pivot.
You just paid attention when I said the word sexy.
Brought up a lot of images. So obviously, what you all want on a day-to-day basis are listings and buyers, right?
True.
What's most important about a buyer is, are they qualified? Right? I mean, that's what we want. We want them to be qualified. We want them to know what their price point is. We want them to know what their payment is. We want to know that they're qualified. So what's fantastic about the FHA program that's changing is more people are going to get qualified, right? The federal government said on FHA loans, we're going to lower their monthly mortgage insurance. So I did a quick calculation. On a $300,000 loan, it's going to lower someone's payment about $90 a month. And I know that's not a huge amount of money, but for that buyer that's in the $150 range or the $200 range, that $60, $70 can be a huge amount, right? It can help them get qualified. It can get them off of the couch and saying, well, I'm paying $1,200 in rent. I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and go to $1,400. So it's big for our FHA buyers.
It could also increase that buying power $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
With that extra $90. You're $20,000 in purchase price, $20,000 in purchase price.
It does. The other great thing that came out last month is a lot of you have probably heard about the Federal Home Loan Bank program. It's a grant program that in the third week in February came out. We were allowed to submit them. So I've got my first closing tomorrow. But what it does is it allows what they call first responders or veterans or current service members or educators. It allows them to get a grant for $15,000. That's huge. Got a young lady, she's a nurse, she has a big family, she's buying her first home, and she's going to get $15,000 tomorrow as a grant. Yeah. I mean, that's huge for somebody. She didn't have the money to buy the house. Without this grant, we submitted it on the 21st of February.
And do they have to pay back that $15,000, Charlie?
If they live in the house 5 years.
I knew the answer. I was teeing it up.
You were trying to trick me, weren't you?
I was teeing it up for you to.
It's a 5-year second trust, right? And it's forgivable as the 5 years goes along, right?
20% per year for you math majors out there.
I noticed you're good at this.
Yeah, I got this. It's not my first rodeo.
But that's huge, right? It's income-based. So that's also a caveat. Someone can't be an NBA player or, can't make that much money and get that grant. But it's based on the family size. So we can calculate it. We can look up the county that they're living in or the particular area, and we can say they have this many people. We can put that in the system, and it'll say if they qualify or not, right? And it's for all persons living in the house. So if there's other wage earners, we do have to calculate their income also. And it's $12,500 for non-essential personnel. So still a good amount of money. And the other thing that changed big in January, y'all have probably already heard, is Virginia Housing went to a 50% debt-to-income ratio. So it used to be hard fast, 45.01 wouldn't qualify. It used to be 45%. Now it's 50%. And again, that's just more buyers that are in your Real Scout that are going to get qualified with us because now they can make up to 50% debt ratios.
Love it.
So that's huge.
Love it. Get them in that home.
Yep. So I sit in here on Wednesdays if anybody has questions. But we have loan officers obviously throughout your company that engage and are in the offices. So please reach out to them as needed. And we appreciate your time. And we're not the icky lender. He didn't mean that.
I was joking. I love first.
We're not the icky lender. That's awesome.
I was joking.
Hey.
Any questions for Charlie or Sean? Other than if we can have Sean do dramatic readings somewhere out
Yes.
down the road.
Happy
Thank
to.
you for your time.
Awesome.
We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you, guys. All right, back on with the Sarah and Donna here. So, a couple things here. Checking my time real quick. Some market reports. The first thing I want to show you guys was this, and you guys can't see it in here as well, but on the screen on TV you probably can't. So this is the weekly market report that comes from Bright. Raise your hand if you ever open this and look at it. I'm just curious.
A few.
Like 10% maybe. I read this religiously every Tuesday when it comes, and it's really cool because it's just a snapshot view of the whole, as you can see, it's got the
Broken out by
the
jurisdiction,
7 different
yeah.
states and showings. Now, if you do all your business in Virginia, you can actually go to the full report, just click on Virginia, and it will track the showings, the contracts, the pendings, the closed sales by week after week, and you can see the most relevant data because when we look at market data, like I'm going to show you the market reports, and those are great and they're good for showing snapshots, but here we are, they come out March 15th for February's data. Well, how relevant it is now, right?
Right.
The closings for February were actually contracts written in December and January, so here we are on March 15th giving you data that's at a minimum 45 to 60 days old, right? Which is fine. It's good to know what's going on out there. But where I like to know is, obviously we'll crowdsource, see what's going on out there, but what are the contracts doing? What's the showings like? If our showings are jumping, our contracts are jumping, then that's good stuff. And you can see that, right there.
And our inventory's jumping.
Right. You can see that the summary point they had up there was new contracts rising again for the third straight week. Well, that's encouraging stuff, right? That means there's more contracts that have more things that have gone on our contract 3 weeks in a row. Now, is that normal for March 14th? Whatever today is. What's today? I have no
15th.
sense. 15th.
Today's the 15th.
There you go. I was right before.
15th.
Right? March 15th. Is that normal for March 1st? Yes, it is. But we want to see that tick up because sometimes it can be discouraging, right? Or you can look at these closed sales numbers in February and be like, oh, geez. But you want to see the showings way up, the contracts way up, the inventory way up.
What was that face again?
Oh, geez. I think that was the one, right?
That was close.
Well, I look at a lot of stats, and some stats I look at the computer like, oh, geez, right? But I want to see those contracts tick up. And I track it, not only look at bright stuff so I can see the area. I look at Cardinal contracts by the week. I look at our contracts by the week. We saw a big jump in Cardinal contracts last week. So we saw a big jump in contracts overall last week. So we're seeing that market activity up there. So hopefully you're seeing it on your individual business level, but I want that to be encouraging stuff. And if you don't look into that now, if you're a member of Bright, which everybody is, you probably disregard it. But when you get that Tuesday email, click on it. Go to the full report. Click on your particular state, Virginia, Maryland, D.C., West Virginia. This is great. It gives a full overview snapshot. But you really want to dig down to that macro level and micro level, I guess would be the idea. Micro level and see what's going on in your area as far as that.
Yeah, and it's a great tool also to use when you're having conversations with your clients, right? Look, they get national news. They get their car dealer, they get their bartender, they get their hairdresser, they get their next door neighbor that's probably never bought and sold a house that still rents, but they're an expert on the market, right? We all have those, and I hate to tell you, they listen to them a lot more than they listen to us sometimes, right? So having that data is a way for you to go, you know what, the market was down for the last year over year, it's been off this, or what we're seeing trending up is that contracts are coming in and new inventory is coming on. We're flat this month or this week over last week. Being able to talk to that, sometimes just giving some numbers, gives people confidence that, hey, you do know what you're trying to do here. You're not just talking and trying to sell me a house. Like, you get it, you're watching, you're studying, you know what's going on and you're engaged. So great tool to do that.
And the other main point they had as weekly highlight was time to contract down to an average of 10 days. This is over the whole Bright footprint, which goes from New Jersey all the way down to, just south of Fredericksburg, north of Richmond, where it goes to CVR MLS. So the average was 10 days, which is just a couple days higher than the crazy heated market of 21 to 22 in the spring. So we're talking about, as hot as those days almost already. The average time to contract being 10 days, where they were 7 and 8 days in those crazy times. So we're seeing that type of pickup, and that's on a, again, big scale, but smaller scale you can dig down as well. So this is for the whole DC metro area. And again, this news isn't going to look good, but it's almost a little bit too old to really conceptualize. But our new listings in February, 3927. This is the whole DC metropolitan market. It was down 10% from January to February, which is a little bit surprising. Normally you see the listings up in February from January, but we are seeing them up in March already, which is encouraging. But from January to there, from the year before, if you think there wasn't a lot of inventory, there wasn't. There was 36% less homes put on the market from February 22 to February 23. That's a lot less. 22 there were 6,000 homes, and this year there were only 3,900 homes. So that lack of inventory and lack of people going out there is real.
And you're feeling that, right? You felt it over the last 30 days, right?
And the new contracts were down 28% year over year. It was up 5%, so we're starting to see a little bit more of that. And our closed sales was down 25%. So last February, 4,200 sales. This February, just 3,100. So that's 25% down. In January, it was like 45% down.
So these are the type of charts that you print that, and you call your sellers that potentially are looking at selling a house, and you go, look, go back one slide. That's red. Red bad, green good, right? So it's down. Everybody, the buyer demand is still out there.
Red bad,
green good. But the buyer demand's out there, and houses are down. We had new listings 3,900 year over year. We're year over year and month over month. Look how much we're down. The buyer inventory is still out there. We still are in a good position to sell. Use the data that you're given to be able to go out and generate more listings. Go out and generate that business.
So your active market data, there was 5,000 on the market. The lowest it's ever been 3,600. So we've had it in the last 5 years. So it's not as tight as the market's ever been.
Green,
but it's
so good,
tight.
so good.
But it's pretty tight. We're still getting 98% average list to sale price. Now, this is for the whole DC metropolitan market. That's not necessarily going to be the one that I might even localize to print if I'm going to go on a listing today in Stafford, or I'm going to go in Fairfax, or I'm going to go in Bowie. We do all these if you go to Cardinal Nest, click Top Resources, Market Reports. We upload 20 different local markets in there, all your different associations. We're going to pull the local reports so that you can pull it on a tighter level. If you want to create your own, you have to pay for a Smart Chart subscription. It's pretty cheap, but then you can manipulate it, pull your own charts. But you can pull these same looking graphs. We pull them and we put them in there, so you can just download them. They will say my name on them, but you can cut them and paste them how you want. But just so you can kind of see.
Or you could be Donnie.
Or you can be Don.
Right.
Well, it's not that weird to have your burger's name on it. It's not the end of the world. Or you can pay for Smart Charts and put your own name on it. But down on the right there, you see, look, listings were down across the board. It's not crazy to you. And they're similar, as far as across our major jurisdictions: MVR, FAR, PWAR, GCAR, and DC City. Kind of the top 5 that we pulled out from here. New pendings, nothing really different.
But what a huge opportunity to take that new listings list and go in and show sellers. Now's the time. Don't wait for 3 months. Now's the time.
And in closed sales, it's all similar across the board. So these are all similar to our whole DC market areas, which I'm not going over each number. But you can see that the numbers are generally similar across the whole marketplace. Sales price is still up year over year as an average from year to year. So yes, we saw them spike. We saw them kind of dip down, but they're kind of back up to where they were. And I see nothing but change for increasing sale prices, because as we talked about here, if we continue to get interest rates improving, even if they're at there now, we're getting 10 and 15 contracts, right? If they get better, we're going to see even more. We're going to see higher prices. So I think the market's only going to get hotter from March 15th on here, and the prices are only going to get more aggressive. Our days on market are going to continue to drop as well, for sure. Some of these are sitting because they had the people that had those older, higher listing prices that are skewing our days on market. But the average contract now, when you put it out there, nothing's lasting past that first weekend or so, unless you just got it way overpriced, unfortunately. And we're gonna, now is when I would like to ask feedback. What are you guys seeing out here? We're gonna grab some mics. I might put Rich on the spot here first if nobody raises their hand. Or we've got another great broker manager, my man Jay Johnson up from Fredericksburg over here. So he slides in the room. I'm gonna put him on blast. But Jay and Rich, I'm gonna let you guys, pearl your wisdom. But Jay, what are you seeing on the market down there in Fredericksburg?
Well, first I want to say, as I walked through the parking lot, the wind was blowing through my hair. I had a cup of coffee in my hand. And I realized that I work for an awesome company. Of people that love me and colleagues that I love and want to see them be successful. That was a great speech, though, Sean.
That was almost
right here, First Heritage. Let's give it up for Sean.
Well done, Jay. Well done.
Well done.
No, honestly, what I see is pretty much what everyone said. And just to look forward to the summertime when rates get lower, it's going to be like bidding wars that we've seen, honestly, because inventory is already low. So when the rates drop, we have to be prepared for it.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Well, and that doesn't necessarily always do the buyer the best service, because then they start waiving inspections and waiving appraisals and waiving all their contingencies and those protections that are built in, because let's face it, Murphy strikes, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, but we do see, I see more of that coming. It's already there a little bit.
Yeah.
Everything seems like somebody put something on Facebook yesterday, and it was specifically about Stafford. His question was it was funny because we were coming here in the morning, and they were like, yeah, everything I see is 5 to 10 contracts on everything, and that's unfortunately what we're in already.
Yeah, listings are selling right now. Listings, if you have anything on the market and you price it right, it's going to sell.
Yep.
So it's about getting more buyers from those listings. So do the open house, send out the postcards, do what you can do to generate more business for what you have.
And promote some of that stuff out there, because I still think there's the people that have listened to the news so much third and fourth quarter, in the beginning of the year, and how, the real estate market's terrible. No, it's not. It's crazy out there, right? People are afraid to list their home because maybe they saw stuff sitting, 3, 4, 5 months ago. It's crazy again. We just got to encourage those sellers more than anything to get out there, because if we can increase more sellers to get out there, we'll create more inventory for everybody, and we're going to have a better balanced market. Mr. DeGore.
Well, I had a cup of coffee this morning. Yeah.
Did the wind blow through your hair?
The wind was blowing through my hair.
Yeah.
Not like Jay's, though. Man's got some sharp hair. Everybody's saying the same thing. It pretty much is the same thing. Very interesting market. I call it interesting. I find that some subdivisions are really competitive, and maybe if you're a little out a little bit, maybe not. But recently I've seen it's competitive. There's no inventory out there. And I personally have some sellers that are been sitting on the fence for a few months. So just stay with them, stay engaged with them, encourage them. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and people get scared, okay? News, internet, all that. And we know the internet's a magical place, right? So not always good. So just encourage your people to stay with it, and don't give up, because especially if they're renting, that's always going to be what it's going to be. And then your sellers, if they need to move, they're going to need to move. And the ones that are kind of, I don't need to move, try to encourage them and tell them the good spots and the good reasons why it is good to maybe go ahead and list your home, because they're going to be in that competitive situation as well.
Yeah, definitely. And those renters, I'd get them out there now. I don't care if their lease expires June, July, because I don't think with a crystal ball, as the market gets better for buyers, that makes it worse for those renters trying to get out, frankly. I think it's going to get more competitive and $20,000, $30,000 more if we wait around 3 or 4 months on some of these things.
Yeah, especially on the listings with people leaving the area, or they're trying to downsize and they want to go into a rental. They don't necessarily want to, buy something huge. They're, trying to navigate into different phases of their life. It's a great opportunity for those folks as well.
And, and I'm always like, well, I could get more for my house if I wait till June, July. Well, if you're a move-up buyer, okay, they're selling a $400,000 place and you're buying a $600,000. Well, look, yeah, you're right. Maybe you'll get $440,000 if you wait around 2 months. But you know what the $600,000 is going to be? $600,000 might be $650,000, $680,000, $700,000. Because if you do percentages, if both things are going to go up 5%,
you cannot win on both sides.
You can't win on both sides, right? So I'd encourage those move up sellers that are looking to stay in the area and move up as well. It's like, look, we know the market's good right now, and we can get a good sale. We got a better chance of getting something you want. But you wait around, it's going to be even harder to do that move up. So any other thoughts on the market or what they're seeing, anything specific and kind of interesting stories or anything they're seeing out there? All right. Speak now. Oh, Lena's pointing at people.
Lena's pointing.
Uh-oh. You know? Okay.
No.
You don't have to share.
You don't have to. All right.
We'll pivot. If anybody has any thoughts, you can feel free to throw that hand up. But
Donnie's never met a camera he didn't like. Other people don't necessarily love that.
Missed 22 minutes on the weekend update over here. All right.
I had a lot of good, important information to share.
She just thought people would listen to her talk all day, apparently. But
we're like this all the time. She goes, "That's terrible."
That's all right.
I'll get him back later. So wonderful, exciting news. Our wonderful lead trainer, Lynn Hamilton, is going on the road.
Wave. Lynn's over here.
Do your little woot woot. She's going back on the road throughout April to teach Jumpstart back in our classes. So she's going to be in Maryland offices and Virginia offices on the road teaching her Jumpstart series. You can Tyson's and Bowie are coming up first.
So, Jumpstart. What's Jumpstart, Sarah? Were you going to say that?
No.
Okay, well,
I was going to say check on the Cardinal Nest for all of the locations near you.
But what is Jumpstart?
We're going to let Lynn explain what Jumpstart is because
okay.
Lynn's right here. Let Lynn talk. They don't want to hear you.
For the first time in your life, you gave away the opportunity to talk.
I'll talk over you any day. Go ahead, Lynn. Tell them what Jumpstart is.
All right, so Jumpstart is ideal for a new agent to Samson, an agent who's been in for 20 or 30 years, because the foundation of Jumpstart is to make sure that we've got your foundation laid out. I now know what you know, and as we build on to the specialty components, I know that you got the foundation. So Jumpstart is a 4-series, 4 classes to take you through the foundation, and then session 3 is about your database, getting into the weeds and the dirt on it. Session 4 is regarding your 4 marketing pillars and why it's important to have marketing pillars. We cover a ton of stuff. So it is designed, again, for any and every agent, and then it makes sure that I know what you know, so that when we're doing a buyer consultation, and I go, okay, remember in session 1 of Jumpstart, we talked about your big why, but then I showed you how to take it and leverage it to the 9 with your client. That's where that comes in. So
this is good for everybody. And I know Lynn just said that, but I just want to tell you, look, if you've been stagnant in your business the last 3 to 6 months, and look, a lot of
jump in.
Us
It's a retrain
probably
of the
have.
brain right
Jump
back.
in. You are going to remember stuff you forgot, and you're
Back
going
to
to get
basics.
jump started to going forward, right?
Look at that. Boom, boom, boom.
But it is encouraging, because I know that there's been some struggles out there. I mean, I look at numbers and I look at people across the board, and I know some people aren't putting up the numbers and the transactions and the sales they'd love to the last 3 to 6 months. Well, look, do something, guys. Get in, take the classes. You will get invigorated to going back to the basics that will build you up. And maybe you got into the market in the last 3 to 5 years when you didn't have to learn the basics as well, because the business just fell from the sky the last few years. Well, get in and learn the basics if you never kind of got them, and you can jumpstart that career. So we're excited to have Lynn teach these things again in person.
And when I have an agent who's been in the industry for 20 years and goes through Jumpstart, and they look at me after every session and said, oh my God, I never knew that. I was never taught that.
I forgot that.
Or I forgot that. Yeah.
Right.
So, it brings value to everyone.
And it could be that you just need a little tweak. You need one little piece tweaked, and the whole thing fits together for you, and you can go off and push off and start being successful. So I would say to you, the precursor for this, if your business is not where you want it right now, this class would be for you to jumpstart your business back to where you want it to be.
Very good. And again, I use the analogy of putting the puzzle pieces together. And yes, I do throw puzzle pieces around the room.
She does.
She does. I do. Yeah, those who've been with me know that they better duck. But when we're going on the road, I'm going to have some giveaways. We're going to have some fun stuff going, so you definitely do not want to miss it. Y'all may have to drive to Tyson's or to Bowie. I'm coming up a good 2.5 hours to be there, so don't tell me you got a long drive in front of you. And we'll have a good time, and we'll make it worth your while. So,
Touche.
Yes. So, and I know several in the room here have been part of Jumps.
What, the drive?
One piece, putting it together one piece at a time. So, very good.
So, first-time
All right.
homebuyer workshop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where going?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to tell you about that?
Yeah,
Okay,
quick.
so the gang, I did the class on how to do a first-time homebuyer workshop. I said, if you want to do it, let me know by email. I put you into a group. There was 44 of you that said, yes, I want to do it. They have committed to 8 weeks with me already. We have coming up on week 8. They have been spot on, so kudos to all of you that were doing it. We gave them tasks every week that need to be done as they put it together in order. They're now starting and holding their first-time home buyer workshops. We've got about 60 potential buyers on the back burner now.
Oh, yeah.
And most of them
Would
have
anybody like to have potential buyers? Guess what, people? It requires a little work.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. But I've got
They
it
don't fall
mapped
from the
out.
sky?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
I've got it mapped out to perfection for you. So group 2 will be starting tomorrow. On Thursday, if you want to get in on that group, Email me quickly at lhamilton@samsonproperties.net. Let me know you want in group 2. I will send you a link. That way I know I've got you all in my database. It is phenomenal. But
and
I
this
do
is for
ask.
first-time home buyer seminars.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So I do ask that you commit to the 8 weeks of letting me walk you through it methodically. You will have homework.
And you will do the work.
And you will do the work because all the other ones have done the work. So now you got to follow suit. And
Oh, well,
I'm asking
but the
you.
formula is you sign up, you give them some lessons,
Yes.
and you do work, and they do work, and they end up with 60-some buyers.
Yeah.
That's a good result,
Yeah.
guys.
And I'm asking you to commit to doing 1 a month for the rest of the year. So easy peasy.
Right, that's
and I hand it to you on a silver platter.
It is a job, you know, so sometimes you gotta
you sometimes have
do
to
some
engage.
stuff, right?
And it's not always fun, but
So-
you got to do some stuff.
Then last one more highlighted class.
Yeah,
for
one
Lynn.
more.
Yeah, wrapping up our March in Chantilly, we're doing part 2 of the disc, backed by popular demand. I've been asked for that from the moment I landed here. The disc part 1 is already in Samson University. If you have not watched it, please watch it because this will make more sense. What we're doing is taking the 4 personality types, talking about them now that you've determined what you are from session 1. I'm going to give you the tips of how to read your clients so that you are talking to them
Love that.
in the right manner. I've often said, if you ever had where you've done a buyer or seller consultation and went, nailed it, and then you found out they went with somebody else 2 days later, yeah, well, guess what? You didn't connect. You told them what was important to you, not what was important to them. So I'm going to give you some tips of how to read the other person so you can adjust, become that chameleon, and connect with them. If not, that's fine, but you are missing a third or half of your business possibilities because you've not connected with them and they've gone on to somebody else that they could connect with. So, choice is
Spoke
yours.
to them the way they wanted to be spoken to.
Exactly. Exactly. So that'd
Thank
be
you.
it.
Awesome,
Well,
Lynn.
thank you,
And
Lynn.
so,
Appreciate
just
it.
for everybody to know, Lynn does have a channel on Samson University with all of the classes, and she has taught tons that we have filmed and put up there. And we continue 26, and we continue to put them up there. So there's tons of different content from Lynn on there, and then all of the ones where she roams around to all of the different offices teaching are on the Cardinal Nest, so you can look out for those and RSVP. There's typically a lot of tomfoolery to be had
So
in those.
we're going to close up with
Yes.
some of our things coming up, and then we're going to close with all the fantastic people that have helped us, Cardinal Title Group. Our marketing education days, the tour. Lake Ridge tomorrow is the 16th, so we'll be at the Lake Ridge office tomorrow. Waldorf to close out March, and then in April, looks like we're in Tyson's and Bel Air, Maryland.
And those marketing days are Canva, how to use the Print Center for anybody that has not converted over to the Print Center, and social media training.
So these are all the great agent orientation days that we have coming up. If you are new to Samson or just want to get re-engaged, these are our agent service specialist staff. They do a great job. 2 hours, engage you in all things Samson. There is one almost every single day. I'm not going through them all, but these are all in the Nest. They're all over Virginia, all over DC, all over Maryland. Great opportunities for you to engage. There's one specific one that Bethany's doing RSVP to her, but we're going to do this one in the 1 Street, the old 1 Street office in Bethesda. It's become a Samson office. So if you want to see that office or get engaged, that's a great opportunity to engage up there, and that is next Tuesday as well. Resource refreshers are deep dive on KV Core and Skyslope.
Yep, we've built those out through June for you guys. We rotate them all through the footprint so that hopefully we can get someone to teach one close to you. However, bring your laptop, bring your tablet, whatever. It is a deep dive, so it's a hands-on workshop. They're going to teach you some tips and tricks on both KV Core, step-by-step, and Skyslope.
All these things are on the Nest, all these great classes that we're putting through. Or you can watch the weekend update. Maybe watch it 2 times so you can get there a little quicker. But we like to give you that snapshot every weekend of all the great things that have gone on in Samson, all the great things coming up next week. But just so you can see all these great things coming up on the Nest.
So much happening all the time.
As well, look for this Cardinal
there's a
Roundtables.
great one coming up on the 23rd. It's a fraud class. We are seeing, just as a quick aside, I know we got to run on, we are seeing so many cases reported on fraud right now. And we are fielding them left and right where sellers are being impersonated on land transactions. Things are going to closing. They're passing different criteria points and they're actually closing, and then the seller pops up and says, what are you talking about? I'm me and I didn't sell this property. And we're looking at people, having to move out of that particular place because they bought it and it was sold erroneously. Don't ever tell your clients not to get title insurance.
Ever.
The title insurance is protecting the buyers right now on all of these claims because the house doesn't belong to them. It goes back to the seller. because it was sold erroneously. So the title insurance is what's protecting our buyers right now. They need it on every single transaction. I cannot shout that to the rooftops enough. But we do have an FBI guy coming in to talk about all the different types of fraud that they're seeing.
Jorge Velez, Thursday,
Yes.
next Thursday.
To talk about all the different types of fraud that they're seeing and how it's impacting us. Guys, these guys are smart. Yes. They are smart. They are so much smarter than us. Like
Virtual and live.
if they would just get a job and like do great things, they could conquer the world. But bad guys are bad. So just be careful there.
So be on the lookout for all those other great
title
opportunities
insurance,
to learn
good.
and tie
Yes.
in to things Samson.
Yes.
We're going to
All
close
right.
with the thanking of our rock stars. This is how we can keep all these things going. We can add Real Scout. We can all these offices.
Teach all the classes.
Great managers. Teach all the classes. We've got
All the
Lynn.
things.
All the great things we have going on here is this support of Cardinal Title Group. So I want to thank each and every one of you individually for all the support that you bring and your trust in us. I will start.
Go for it.
Mr. Adam Shively, Agnes Roderick, Ahmed Goma, Aiden Berry, Akulu Burry, Ali Dejanata, Andrea Perez del Castillo 2 times, Andrea Buck, Andrea Scott, Andres Pali, Armando Guadalupe, Arslan Jamil, Ashish Sangrula, Audrey Enos, Bader Atabi, Ben Nash, Bill Petrie, Besuda Dahal, Brandy Brown, and Brian Sanks 2 times.
Brooke Bayer, Carlo Washington, Celie Trotman, Chris Jones, Chris Salvatore, Christina Gulick Kazembe, Connie Johansson 2 times, Cynthia Chin, Cynthia Epps, Danielle Amoroso, David Fernandez, Daisy Benitez, Desiree Regili 2 times, Dilyara Demenova 6 times.
Dilyara.
Nice job, Dilyara. So Dilyara, I think,
she's on her way to getting those 91 she got last year.
She's coming out hot. She's trying to hit last year's. Donald Grant, Ebony Jones 2 times, Elaine Molina, Emil Safaglu, Fernando Ramallo, and Florence Agola. Thanks, guys.
Fred Boseni 2 times, Frey Assesses, Greg Kalangian. I saw him. Where is he? There you are. I saw him. Good job, Greg. Greg Hogan, Haley Sterling, Heather Heath, Heidi Moore, Leyland Poo, Anam Raymond, Yvonne Juarez, Yvonne Levy, Jacqueline Kirch, Jaime Magny, James Logan Jr., Jan Allen 2 times, Jeffrey Welburn, Jennifer Cuevas, Jennifer Dorn, Jennifer Fang, and Jessica Hampton.
You got the Jennifer page.
Yes.
Joe Way, Joe Azer, John Horton, Johnny Jenkins, Jorge Pimentel, Jose Avila, Josh Prouty, Jose Ruiz, Julie Park, Karen Jones, Karen Patrick, Kate Heislip. Whoop, 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 up, whoop, 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 whoop. She stepped. Okay, we woot-wooted. All right, Kathleen Presser, Kathy Rainey, Kathy Thompson, Katie Mudd, Kia Evans, Keith Patillo, Kelly Adria, and Kelly Graves. Thanks, guys.
Kenny Zion, Keisha Washington, Khaled Ahmed, Christine Jones, Kwaku Brobe, Leticia Gaddis 2 times, Lindsay Walker, Lionel Johnson, Luming Wang, Mary Nawab, Mary Williams 2 times, Maurice Wood, Meredith Smith, Michael McKendy, Miriam Bohabet Furtog, Nancy Nielsen, Nathan Coriel, Neil Baga, Nora Yellen, and Owen Thomas.
Pam Scavaginelli, Paul Zalian, Pink Doan, Priya Kumar, Mark Perosky, Rajit Kapoor, Rajesh Sharma, Ray Powers, Richard Lee, Bobby Abel, Robert Burr, our manager out in West Virginia, Roxanne Southern, Rupali Jain, Rashida Boyd, Samira Rantissi, Sandra Berganza, Sandra Stillman DePascal, Satya Naranyanya, going with it. Kanthasam.
Nailed it.
Sat, thanks. Shelly Schneider and Shelly Covert Brown.
Sherry Covert Brown.
Oh, what did I say? Oh, I was
Shelley.
looking at Shelly Schneider and Sherry Covert Brown. Sherry, thank you.
Close.
Finish this out, friend.
Shivasta Singh, Sujay Sanal, Sugdeep Kang, Tanya Newland Senior.
Senor. He just got back
I was
from
in Mexico this weekend. A lot of Spanish.
Senor.
Tavon Hill, Tom Earhart, Tony Daniel, Tracy Romero. No, she's out of town. Yes, she is.
Ooh, she's in Florida.
Troy Spinogle, Ugo Akeki, Vita Howard, Vita Rice, Victoria Bali, also out of town in Florida.
What is up with you Florida people?
Victoria Zhao, Viktor Kutsevich 2 times, and Wakar Ahmed 2 times.
Nice job, you guys. Thank you so much.
So again, just want to close up. We just want to thank you all so much for all your support of Samson Properties and Cardinal Title Group.
And thank you for coming out today.
Excited for all the new things coming. Dive into education. More to come the next couple weeks about Real Scout.
Yes.
Hopefully continue to engage. Good luck in that spring market out there. Keep bringing all your transactions to Cardinal Title Group. And we will see you a few weeks for our next sales meeting. Probably a pop-up meeting about Real Scout before that, I would guess.
Everybody take care. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye. That's hilarious.
And we will see you a few weeks for our next sales meeting. Probably a pop-up meeting about Real Scout before that, I would guess.
Everybody take care. Have a great day.
Take care.